Hello, DigiFam. It is I, Prodigious, and I'm back here again to give you another deck profile. Now, this deck profile, we're going to be going over the blue MetalGarurumon X build. So let's get into it. Alright, so first up, I recommend using the Sunamon egg from BT15. He has the your turn once per turn when one of your Digimon effects adds a card to your hand. This Digimon gets plus 1000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. Now, you could go ahead and also add in the fifth egg that is Bakumon, I believe, from BT14. That's limit 1 per deck. That can help you give you jamming if you have more sources than your opponent's Digimon. But this deck does not run a whole lot of source removal per se, so I don't really recommend it. You're not going to probably get that to trigger a whole lot, and it will probably just mess with your consistency. So you can do it or not. In this version, I'm just going to go without. Alright, now our first rookies is going to be 2 copies of Gabumon from BT5. He has reveal the top 3 cards of your deck when you play him. Add 1 Digimon card with Garurumon in its name, and 1 Digimon card with Omnimon in its name among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So you will definitely get the Garuru part, but not so much the Omnimon. And again, you could tweak this deck to try and squeeze in an Omnimon, if you so like. I'm not disregarding that fact because it might be a good finisher for game. But in this version, we do not have one. Alright, moving on. I'm running 3 copies of Gabumon X Antibody from BT9. It can Digivolve for a cost of 0 from Gabumon, or you can Digivolve on top of an egg for free, or hard play him for 3. Now, he has on play or when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Garurumon or Omnimon in its name, and 1 X Antibody among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So, just another nice little searcher, gives you an extra draw if you decide to Evo on top of one of your other Gabus. Next up, we are running the limit 1 per deck Gabumon X Antibody from EX5. He has a Digivolve cost of 1 if he's Digivolving on top of either a blue or a purple egg. So if you do happen to have to Digivolve this on top of your egg, just keep in mind that cost, but that also could be good to use to try and choke your opponent. Now, let's see here. He also has... he actually says Digivolve for 0 from Sunamon or Gabumon, so I did not see that part just now. So actually he will be free, so disregard that last comment. Unless, of course, you're running something besides Sunamon. Anyway, he has on play when Digivolving, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 2 cards with Garurumon or X Antibody in their names among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. If you added cards, trash 1 card in your hand. So again, it helps you do a little more searching and a little more digging. Can get some more Garurumon name cards. And even potentially set up some combos by putting something in trash. He also has the inheritable of all turns once per turn when this Digimon with Garurumon or Omnimon in its name would be deleted in battle by returning 2 non-Digi-Egg cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck to prevent that deletion. So some pretty strong anti-deletion protection there. Alright, next we are running 4 copies of Gabumon from the BT14 set. Digivolves from an egg that's blue for 0. Digivolves from Sunamon for 0. Start of your main phase, one of your Digimon gains blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. Then if you have a tamer with Matashita in its name, draw one card. When attacking once per turn, draw one card is your inheritable. So it gives you card draw and can also turn one of your guys at random into a blocker. Next, we are also running 2 copies of the purple Gabumon that came out of Starter Deck 16. Now, what does he bring to the table since he's in this deck? Well, first of all, he does have to Digivolve off of a purple egg, but he also says he can Digivolve from Sunamon for 0. So we're using that to our advantage. Next, he has start of your main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon, gain 1 memory. So, it's a nice rookie to go ahead and just have out there and give you memory. Its inheritable is, when attacking once per turn, draw 1 card from your deck, then trash 1 card in your hand. So it gives you some card draw, gives you some memory. What's not to love? Now we're going into our champions, and the first one to look at is going to be Garurumon X Antibody from EX5. Now this guy is limit 1 per deck. Digivolves from a level 3 purple or blue for 3, or if it's Garurumon, it costs 0. When Digivolving, draw 2 cards, then trash 2 cards in your hand. If Garurumon or X Antibody is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, gain 1 memory. He also has an inheritable very similar to the other Gabumon that is limit 1 per deck that we have in here, in the form of all turns, once per turn, when this Digimon with Garurumon or Omnimon in its name would be deleted in battle, by returning 2 non-Digi-Egg cards from your trash to the bottom of the deck, prevent that deletion. So, very nice, very useful. Now we're running 3 copies of Garurumon X Antibody from BT9. No actual effect on him other than Digivolving from Garuru for 0, but he does have the inheritable of when this Digimon has Garurumon or Omnimon in his name and would be deleted in battle, you may trash 2 cards of the same level in this Digimon's Digivolution cards to prevent that deletion. So again, just more protection. The only thing we gotta worry about is straight up protection in the form of actual removal cards, but not so much being afraid of swinging into our opponent's security and hitting a Digimon that has higher DP than us, because we have that covered. Now I'm running also 4 copies of Garurumon from BT15. Evos from a level 3 for 2, or from Gabumon in name for 2. When Digivolving, if you have a tamer with Matashita in its name, draw 1. If you don't have a tamer with Matashita in its name in play, you may play a Matashita in its name from your hand with the play cost reduced by 3. So it's important to note that. He also has the inheritable of, when attacking once per turn, draw a card. So again, just more card draw to help us just go through our deck and find the pieces and get set up with another strong one in the back row. Just good all around. Now I'm also running 4 copies of Garurumon the promo P-007. No real inheritable, just Digivolves from a blue Digimon for a cost of 2. It has an inheritable of, when attacking, if the Digimon has Garurumon in its name, draw a card. So again, just more card draw. Now we're going into our level 5s, our ultimate forms. So in this deck, we're running 4 copies of WereGarurumon X from EX5. He Digivolves from a level 4 for 4 cost, or if it's WereGarurumon, it only costs 1. When Digivolving, by trashing 2 cards in your hand, unsuspend this Digimon. Then if WereGarurumon or X Antibody is in the Digimon's Digivolution cards, You may return one Digimon card with Garurumon or X antibody in its name from your trash to your hand. So this will allow you to go ahead and unsuspend, do some card draw. Again, just good things all around. Now its inheritable is when attacking once per turn. If this Digimon has Garurumon or Omnimon in its name, by trashing one card in your hand, unsuspend this Digimon. So, very nice. We're also running a single copy, because that's all we're allowed to play, of promo P-008. Where Garurumon. He evos from a level 4 blue for 3. He has when attacking once per turn. If this Digimon has Garurumon Digivolution card, unsuspend this Digimon. He also has the inheritable of your turn. While you have 8 or more cards in your hand, this Digimon gains Security Attack +1. So we'll definitely be able to trigger that effect. Then I'm running 2 copies of Where Garurumon Ace. You can hard play him for 4 if you needed to. He does Evo on top of a blue level 4 for 3. Or he can Digivolve from a Garurumon in name for 3. Now, he has Hand Counterblast, Blast Digivolution. He also has On Play, when Digivolving, draw 1. And if you have 5 or more cards in your hand, trash 1 card in your hand. All turns, once per turn, when one of your Digimon effects adds cards to your hand, one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers can't suspend until the end of their turn. So, just good, strong defense and offense all in one. He can be Hand Counterblast for free on your opponent's turn. But just keep in mind that because he is an ace, he's going to have that overflow of -3. And last, we're running a single copy of Where Garurumon from the Starter Deck 16. He has Digivolves from a level 4 purple for 3, or a level 4 with Garurumon in name for a cost of 3. When attacking once per turn by trashing 1 card in your hand, unsuspend this Digimon. His inheritable is when attacking once per turn by trashing 1 card in your hand, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Now, go into our Megas, which we actually have quite the assortment. So we do have the big final form right here of MetalGarurumon X Antibody from BT9. He Digivolves from a level 5 blue for 4, or for 1 cost from MetalGarurumon. When Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon. It gains blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. It also has your turn once per turn when this Digimon becomes unsuspended. If MetalGarurumon or X Antibody is in Digimon's Digivolution cards, return all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level to their owner's hand. So, very defensive, can also be used offensively. And we are also splashing in just a single copy of the newer MetalGarurumon X Antibody that comes from EX5. He can Evo from a level 5 purple or blue for 4, or a MetalGarurumon in name for 1. He has blocker built into him. He also has when Digivolving, if MetalGarurumon or X Antibody is in his Digimon's Digivolution cards, until the end of your opponent's turn, all their Digimon gain when attacking lose 4 memory. So it's like a double ice wall type of effect. He also has when attacking by returning 1 Digimon card from your trash to the bottom of the deck, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the same level as that card. So as you can see, we do a lot of card drawing, but we also have the occasional cards that let us pitch cards from hand to trash. And we also, as you're about to see, have quite the variety of assortments of level 6s. This is why we're doing that, so that way we have plenty of options to go into, but also we want some level 6s that we can just pitch from hand and then use this effect to go ahead and use for fodder to blow up another level 6. Now, next, I'm actually running 2 copies of the new MetalGarurumon from BT15. Now, what makes this guy so special is he can evo from a level 5 blue for 4, or a level 5 Garurumon in name for 4. He has a text that says that while you have a tamer with Mat Ashita in its name and your opponent has a 1000 DP or 10,000 DP or higher Digimon, one of your Gabumons may digivolve into this card in your hand for a Digivolution cost of 4, ignoring the Digivolution requirements. So he'll allow you to warp in case you're in a pinch and your opponent already has their Mega out. He has Evade, which I believe the wording for the Evade keyword is that when an effect would delete the Digimon, you can suspend it in order to prevent that deletion. Now, if I'm mistaken on that, please make sure to comment down below. He also has when digivolving, 3 of your opponent's Digimon and Tamers can't suspend until the end of their turn. So, again, offensively and defensively very strong. And the final part is that really brings home the power of it. All turns, once per turn, when this Digimon becomes suspended, you may unsuspend it. So, basically you can use this offensively and defensively. You can go ahead and swing twice potentially with this guy. You could swing once and then just leave him unsuspended so that way you can make use of, say, blocker or evade. You could also go ahead and just keep him unsuspended because you're suspecting your opponent's going to try and delete him. They try to, you activate evade, he then unsuspends, and now you're sitting there all nice and pretty ready to block. Or if they try yet another card to somehow delete him, you can suspend yourself one more time. So very versatile. Next, I am running 1 copy of the MetalGarurumon Ace from Starter Deck 16. Now what he does, is, of course, is the whole hand counterblast ability. Evos from a level 5 purple for 3, or from a Garurumon in name for 3. When digivolving, by trashing up to 3 cards in your hand, gain 1 memory for each card trashed. So we're hopefully not going to really play this, it's just kind of splashed in here, but if we do, we'll try and make use of it. Because it also has, when attacking once per turn, you may trash 1 card in your hand to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. Just be careful of that Ace Overflow mechanic of -4. Now, on to the rest of the deck, which is mainly going to be Tamers and option cards. We are running 4 copies of Mat Ashita from BT15. Now what good old Matt right here does is on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Gabumon or Garurumon in its name among them to your hand, return the rest to the bottom of your deck in any order. Or actually no, just return the rest to the bottom of the deck. Doesn't even say in any order, so I'm guessing it probably would be in any order. But, yeah. Anyway, it also has your turn. When one of your Digimon effects adds cards to your hand by suspending this tamer, gain a memory. As you've already seen, we have plenty of effects that let us draw cards, so we will definitely be using this Mat Ashita. Now, on to the option cards. We are running a single copy of Metal Storm from BT9. This card is 7 cost. When you would use it, if you have a Digimon with X antibody in its Digivolution cards in play, reduce the memory cost of this card by 2, so it only becomes a 5 cost. The main effect is return one of your opponent's level 6 or lower Digimon to its owner's hand, then unsuspend one of your Digimon with Garurumon in its name. Security effect is to activate the main effect. So that's our big removal card of sorts. Alright, now I am running Ice Statue in this deck. This could come out, but I did want to try and run at least a little bit of some source removal. This card is 6 cost to play. When you would use this card, if you have a blue tamer, reduces cost by 1, so it only becomes a 5. Main effect is to trash top 3 cards, or top 3 Digivolution cards of one of your opponent's Digimon, then return one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards to its owner's hand. Security effect is to activate the main effect. Then I'm also running a single copy of Foxfire at the moment. Again, this could change. 4 cost. Main effect is return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon to the hand. If you have a Digimon with Gabumon or Garurumon in its name, return one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level to the hand instead. Security effect is to activate the main. And of course, since we already know we have an Ice Wall-like effect in this deck, I figured why not? We'll run at least a single copy of the limited to 1 per deck copy of Ice Wall. Main effect is all your opponent's Digimon gain when attacking lose 2 memory until the end of your next turn. Security effect is to gain 2. Only costs 1 to play, so why not? We're also, of course, running 2 copies of the actual X Antibody option card because we are running X Antibody stuff in here. We might as well toss this in here so that way we can Evo when we swing. In the middle of the swing, go into an X Antibody. And as you already did see, we do have a couple copies of various forms of protection from battle. So just not a bad card to include when you're already including X Antibody stuff anyway. The last card I want to go over is I am running 2 copies of the option card Wolf of Friendship. Now, what this card does is it costs 4. It says while you have a tamer with Mat Ashita in name, you may ignore this card's color requirements. Main effect is by placing 1 Garurumon and 1 Garurumon from your trash as one of your Gabumon's bottom Digivolution cards. That Digimon may Digivolve into a MetalGarurumon in your hand, ignoring its Digivolution requirements and without paying the cost. Its security effect is to also say you may play 1 Gabumon from your hand or trash without paying the cost, and then add this card to your hand. Now, the reason why we're running this in here as well, even though we already have the Warping MetalGaruru, is because of 2 things. 1, it can help get a body on board, plus it adds itself to the hand via its security effect. So that's always going to be a good play. Anything that gives you an effect of some sort, especially anything that can just give you an extra body on board and then add the card to your hand, always going to be good. Now, the main reason why we're running this is because this guy Warp Digivolves on top of a Gabumon, but only under the condition of your opponent having a Digimon with 10,000 DP or more. When you do that, all you're going to have is whatever inheritables that your Gabumon gives you. With this, the only condition is that you have a Gabumon, and that you have a Garuru and Garurumon in trash, which I believe this deck can easily do. So let's say you're like somewhere in mid to late game and you have an assortment of Garurus and Garurus in trash. You got a version of a MetalGarurumon in hand, whether it be the warping one or not. Like say it could be the ace. This card will go ahead and allow you to just warp and get sources underneath you, so that way you can get whatever effects you might want. Like, let's say you want to have at least the security attack plus of your limit 1 per deck Garuru. Let's say you want to have at least the, by trashing 1 card in your hand, delete an opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon when attacking effect on here. In other words, you can have rather more security attack, which is probably your best option, or more field control. Even more choices are available to you if you look at the Garurumon line. Maybe you want to have the ability to, when attack, draw a card. Maybe you want to have the ability of, again, just drawing an extra card when you attack. The only difference is that one is once per turn versus one is not. So, granted, if we probably had more options in terms of selection when it comes to Gabu and Garurus in whatever color, like we do with Agumon and Greymon, then yes, this could probably be a lot better, and maybe in time we will get that. But I still like the idea of running that card because, like I said, that is got a restriction on it in terms of how you can do your Warp Digivolving. This one, not so much, and it still gives you sources. So never a bad thing. But anyway, that has been my take on a mostly blue with a splash of purple MetalGarurumon X build. I hope you've enjoyed this little profile. Maybe if you have any thoughts or comments down below on what I could do to improve this, by all means, I'm open to criticism down below. But this has been Prodigious, and I will see you next time.